this the stretch of water Delaroche was talking about? It looks really These look pretty fresh. Did the water imp get someone again? Let's look around and see if we can find... Wait! Did you hear something just now?
Paimon? Traveler? I'm sorry. I forgot I was still wearing this.
Vermine!
Paimon, are you okay?
Paimon nearly mistook you for a water imp! Thank goodness it was...
Huh? A water imp? Thelxie, you say? How surprising.
Huh? You know that name too?
No, I think our situations are sure, if that's in order. I know the name because of one of my employers. She noticed the clockwork penguins I brought to the workshop. Following her request, I've named the toy Thelxie.
Huh? But isn't it a little creepy to name a toy after a water imp? Wait, hold on! Vermine, you never take commissions from other people!
Yeah, but, she may... It's alright, though. She'll be coming over to check on my progress shortly, and I'll just tell her that you're two of my trustworthy companions. Hearing that, she might...
Huh. Even though you seem a little cold and reserved sometimes, you're still really considerate.
The fish? I think These past few weeks, I've been taking Thelxie for underwater testing every day. So, all that about the disappearing fish?
So that's all it was? That actually makes a lot of sense. Wait, so could that mean the child...
Yes, I think that's quite
Whew. So in the end, it was just Vermine.
I'm sorry. It sounds like I've created a lot of trouble for everyone else as well. Thank you.
Actually, how much work do you still have left, Vermine?
Thanks for offering. But I can't trouble you any more than I already have.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. Didn't you just call us your trustworthy companions?
But don't you need to report back?
Nope, that's not how it works. See, Paimon's got these commissioner types all figured out. Even though we were just... If we tell them now that it was all just a misunderstanding, you can bet they'd just immediately hand us another commission to help them get the fish back. Exactly! So if we can help you finish up your work and get the fish...
I've stored Thelxie in the tent. He can respond to some simple verbal commands. You can try calling his name and see if he'll come over.
Whoa, sounds pretty advanced. Let Paimon give it a try. Hey, Thelxie! Are you there? So that's Vermine's version of Thelxie. It's also penguin-shaped, just like Pear.
Yep. Had Thelxie lived in Penguin Town, he'd probably have become great friends with Pear. It's not really anywhere famous or important.
Hey, Thelxie! Nice to meet you! Do you know how to say hello?
I wanted to install a language output module, but as it stands, Thelxie can only output messages that were pre-written into its motherboard. No, there's no need. I have 2 other things I'd like your help with. The first...
That doesn't sound too hard.
The other shouldn't take too long either. You'll need to find Thelxie some...
A weapon? Will Thelxie have to fight?
Mm-hmm. Thelxie will need to be able to charge forward with a weapon in hand. Like that brave prince of legend. It's a part of my employer's request.
What an imaginative employer! Naming Thelxie after a water imp, but wanting him to look...
Well, regardless of his role or species, Thelxie's purpose is the same. Just like Pear, he has come...
Whoa! Thelxie just said something again! Could he understand what we were just talking about?
He can react to certain key words, but unfortunately, due to the lack of a translation module, he still can't quite communicate with us.
That's a pity. But anyway, the most important thing right now is for us to get to work. Maybe let's start by doing some testing on the...
Sounds good. The motherboard is on my workbench. Ah, here we go. I have this testing manual, so feel free to reference it if you get stuck. Want to give it a try? It's okay if you don't succeed immediately. I've got a lot of backup boards just in case. Okay, knowing you... You're doing well. Just as I expected.
We've taken on a lot of similar tasks.
Then let's move on to the underwater part. It's just as I mentioned earlier. We're after colorful shells and coral. Oh, speaking of which, you're both already pretty used to Fontaine's underwater environment, right? Okay, that's good. Just let me know if you ever feel uncomfortable. I'll make sure to stay right... It should be right over there. We'll be able to find something that'll help us with our search. This is it. We call this thing an echoing conch. It can detect special reflection. Did you notice any interesting places? The echoing conch should have detected some just now. Let's go check them out. Alright, these should be enough. Let's head back to camp. Thank you for staying out here with me all this time.
Ah, Fremine, you're back.
I'm sorry, Madame d'Estray.
There's no rush. I'm your employer, not your supervisor. And these two are...
Oh, they're two of my trustworthy companions.
Yes, I see. I suppose it's only natural for someone responsible like you to have some...
It's really nice to meet you, Madame d'Estray. Are you Fremine's employer? Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Greetings, my new friends. Just call me Zuria. You are both so adorable. The sight of you reminds me of little fairy...
Oh, do you really think so?
Of course. If my child had friends like you, then perhaps he wouldn't have become so obsessed with the tales of water imps. And I wouldn't have had to
Obsessed with the
Ah, so you don't know anything about my...
Well, Fremine told us that it was a private matter, so we...
I see. So, but it would be quite impolite of me...
Sure, you can tell us anything. You've already...
Ah, what a lovely little fairy. Then let me think of a way. Simply put, parents came up with a story, painting water imps as scary abductors in an effort to convince their children...
Infatuated? With a water imp?
Yes. He told me that he thought the water imp might have just been misunderstood. In his mind, instead of singing...
Huh. So he wanted to become friends with the water imp so it wouldn't be...
Thank you, little Paimon. He indeed has always stood out from the crowd. He was actually diagnosed with loneliness syndrome when he was only 8 years old. It's a type of mental disorder. Those affected by it often feel extremely lonely and lose interest in many mundane activities. The syndrome is probably what made him so determined to be...
Oh no. Is it a very serious disorder?
If you were to become afflicted with the disorder, Paimon, you would only...
No! Paimon won't accept that!
The family doctor has already begun to treat my...
Huh?
Uncontrollable delusions.
Then what is he seeing in it?
It's a dream that he often mentioned to me.
Amazing! Your son came up...
But perhaps no beautiful dream...
How could the story end like this?
Well, it'd be more accurate to say that it was the syndrome that caused such
My poor child can no longer differentiate...
perhaps it...
What? So...
Alas, most of the time he acts as if he can no longer sense or interact with the real world at all. I've had... He once wanted to make a picture book of his...
Ah! So Zuria's son also saw Thelxie as a penguin.
What we should do now is help him complete this picture book. However, we'll need to chase away his loneliness and sorrow, and let him perceive a world full of hope again.
But if we just need to finish the picture book, why does Fremine need to make a
Because we need to treat the book's story seriously, as if it's a history of things that have really... But my child can no longer go on a journey...
Ah, like a stand-in for your son! Paimon's starting to get it now. Oh, you...
There are some ruins on the seabed of the Salacia Plains.
Oh, so we'll just need to act out a performance of...
Sadly, no. We won't just be putting on...
So we'll be playing it straight? Or, making it...
It's all right. There's no need to get that serious. It's not a big deal.
Zuria.
Keep your spirits up, everyone. If we were to look troubled, my son is sure to be... We temporarily moved to a place on the hill over there, so my son will have a better spot to convalesce. It's not far from the water.
Understood. There's also one...
That's great news. I must thank you all. All right, everyone. Let's meet...
Zuria sure is a brave and optimistic lady. Fremine, do you think her plan will work out?
let's discuss that over by the tent. There were a few things that I didn't bring up because the madame was here.
What is it, Fermine? What did you want to say?
If you don't mind me asking, I would like the two of you to mentally prepare yourselves. This is the first time that you've met anyone with the syndrome, right? I know you two are both really strong and will do everything you can to help the child. But with the if things don't quite turn out as we wish, I hope you'll be able to accept the outcome.
Fermine, why do you bring this up all of a sudden?
It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's just...
Ah, so that's why you looked like you knew exactly what she was talking about. Wait, Fermine...
No. Please don't misunderstand. I've never had it. I've just seen many cases of it at the House of the Hearth. They say there are many factors, and from the cases I've seen, there weren't many positive outcomes. In the worst cases...
What? It could get that serious? And here Paimon thought they'd just stop talking.
Yeah, that's just the nature of it. So if you'll find it difficult to cope with the worst case scenario, I would prefer that you back out right now. I don't want you to help only to feel like you failed.
Yeah, that's right. Paimon's seen all of those things too. No matter how hard it might get, we won't be scared.
Really?
Yeah! But Paimon has a question. If this illness can really... After all, we'll just be using a toy as Thelxie and some ruins as the Kingdom of Water Imps.
Well, I think it should be able to do something. To harbor a fantasy, but if we can help him regain control...
Oh, Paimon's...
Well...
What Penguin Town? Why doesn't Paimon remember? Is that also a fairy... Hey, why did...
Anyway, Peng and Pear is the town's triumphant hero.
Pear? But didn't...
Well, I often think that Pear...
Fermine, are you sure you're not losing...
No, I don't think so. I can still differentiate. It might just be hidden, which is why it's...
Specific times? Like...
Yeah. That...
Really? Paimon just said that because you put on your helmet.
Have you ever observed the surface world from underwater? It's as if you're... I have a similar feeling when I put on my diving helmet.
Really? Like a miracle?
Well, if that's in order.
Hey, don't you still need time to work on Thelxie's weapon?
Right. I still have to... Thanks for all of your help.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?